Need some help?
Yeah.
There you go. Welcome to the Ruckus Build Series, Part 3. So in this series, we're working on a 2016 Honda Ruckus, trying to make it one of the coolest Honda Ruckuses out there. And in the first 2 episodes, we completely disassembled the Ruckus. If you missed those, you can find the playlist link down in the description. But today, we got a package from one of the sponsors, the Ruck Shop. So we're gonna be opening this, seeing what we've got, and planning out the next stuff to do before we take everything to powder coating. Got my handy dandy box cutter right here.
Open the damn box.
The Ruck Shop is one of the sponsors. The other shop is scooterworks.com, and I got a package coming from them too. But this should be all the main stuff that we need right now for the build. Should probably,
This is all I ever wanted.
first part.
It's like Christmas.
This is the fuel cover. So here is the fuel tank cover. That's going to be replacing the plastic unit that was on there before, where you basically put your feet. This is just a plastic cover that's on this. We'll peel this off, and this is going to get powder coated.
But we're going to peel it off slowly, right, Brian?
All right.
No, that's not the same. That's the wheel.
This is a wheel.
Yeah. Or is it a drum? Oh, that's nice.
Look at that.
That is
And these are custom from the Ruck Shop. Very nice.
indeed.
So that's the front wheel.
You know what I bet? I bet you this. Yeah, it's a wheel.
Oh, that's wide.
That is wider than my sport bike tire.
240?
You gotta have something wide to hold all them horses.
Good grief.
Look at how deep that is.
If I had a nickel.
All right, so those are the wheels that I went with. These are the old school wheels that they offer. All the parts will be linked down in the description if you want to check them out. Now for the little things.
Ignition coil and bracket.
You know what this is.
Oh no.
With a wiring harness.
Oh boy. Yep. Whelmed. I am over.
Look at all those labels. This is engine cover. Doesn't really actually cover it, but it makes it look cool.
T-shirt.
This is key to making sure that you get maximum horsepower. This, I believe this is the motor mount.
Oh yeah, yeah.
These are side rails. They go over the fuel tank cover. Those are going to be powder coated. This is front splitter cover thing. Covers things up, and it looks cool. Oh, here's another cover
Another
thing.
engine cover.
This goes on the back, and that's the front.
Oh look, a hat.
Hat.
Ooh. Are you recording?
There is a smell.
The hat's been flattened a little bit, so you're looking a little, yeah.
The hat's definitely been crunched. Look at the back. See the back?
See, that's how they cut your hair. You just put the hat on, and then they shave on the outside.
Business in the back, party in the front.
Yeah.
Long in the front? You don't know about being long in the front. All right, last few items. I don't know what this is at all. We'll figure it out.
Oh! They go into the frame. Oh, is that the thing we took off that we didn't know what it was when we took it off? It's something to do with vacuum.
Hey, look,
Another bracket.
a mount. Oh man, this is a leg.
It's a leg lamp.
Oh no, this is the seat mount. The new seat mount.
Oh! That's definitely part of the motor mount.
This is part of the motor mount.
There's one more. It's gonna be a confusing one.
That's a rectifier, isn't it?
That's an rectifier. Oh wait, rectifier. A rectifier's never mind.
You do fit. I'm gonna ship you back to
Free
Walmart.
trip to Florida!
To Walmart. All right, so here's all the stuff that we got. This is the first shipment of things. Basically everything that we need to mount up to the frame and get it ready for powder coating. You don't like that seat?
It has this weird decline. Kind of pulls my pants down.
So here is the here's that plastic unit that I was saying that the fuel cover is going to be replacing. This normally sits over the fuel tank. Instead, we just have this tiny piece right here, which is going to look a lot cooler. Today, though, our goal is to get this whole frame set up for powder coating. So there's a lot of different brackets on here that we're gonna be cutting off. There's some brackets on the headlight piece. So I know some people were asking if they could buy this assembly from me, but I'm not getting rid of this. This is still gonna be used. I'm gonna be cutting off the turn signal brackets as well as a few other pieces on here just to clean this bit up a bit. Oh, that's what this piece is, this one. This is a headlight lowering bracket. Oh. So what it does is allows the headlight assembly to sit lower on the front battery box cover right here. So instead of it sitting up here, it'll sit down a little bit, look a little bit better with how the Ruckus is gonna look. So what I'm gonna do first is mark off all the pieces on the frame and the headlight unit that I'm gonna be grinding off. I have a grinder, just handheld one, and I'm gonna be using that and then sanding everything down, make it nice and smooth. That's what we're gonna be doing first today. As you probably noticed, I changed clothes. And that's because it's a different day. So let me tell you why. The main thing that I need to get done right now is grinding off all the stuff that we don't need on the frame. And this is a kind of important part because all of this has to be perfectly smooth before I take it to powder coating. I wanna make sure that I'm grinding off the right stuff. I wanna make sure that I grind off everything that I need to take off. I wanna make sure that I don't grind off stuff that I don't need to take off. And so I wanted to be extra certain that I had all of that correct. So I sent an email over to Kevin at the Ruck Shop just to make sure I had everything right on what I'm taking off on the frame and on the headlight assembly. So that's what I gotta work on right now, and it's probably gonna take me a while because I wanna have this perfectly smooth. You know, after I do this, I can't change it. Like, I can cut more stuff off, but I can't put more stuff back on, if you know what I mean, because I'm gonna be grinding off metal off of these pieces. And I want it to look good after it gets powder coated. I don't want it to look like absolute crap. I want it to look like it came that way. So I'm gonna be taking my time. I'll show you guys exactly what needs to be taken off, and hopefully when I'm done, it looks good. All right, so I'm gonna start with the headlight because I feel like that's the simpler of the two. I'm gonna be taking a lot of this off because obviously I can't powder coat this with the headlights on, but I'm getting rid of the turn signals. I'm getting rid of the reflectors here on the side, and these are attached with brackets. So I'll be removing this bracket, I'll be removing this bracket, and this bracket here. So take those four off. If you want, some people take off this basket. I wanna leave it, I think it looks kinda cool. I'm gonna take off the headlights. I believe I can just detach it right here, and then I can leave everything else intact, but we'll see. This I can put aside because we're not gonna be touching this at all until we start putting the bike back together. These are for the headlights, so I'm gonna go ahead and put those back on the headlight bracket. These are for the headlights. These go in here. I'm gonna put these aside so I don't lose them. Now, some people have asked how I'm keeping track of everything that I'm taking off of the bike so I don't lose things. With the CRF, there honestly wasn't too much, but for the most part, we taped things to the parts that they went to. Otherwise, we kind of just let stuff sit around. This time, we're doing things a little bit different. Obviously, with all the big parts, I don't need to organize everything in any particular way. Just put it on the floor and keep it all together. Everything else, though, all the bolts, nuts, things like that, what I'm doing here is I got two just sheets of paper right here, and I'm taping them here, and then I label them. So, like, we got front floor mount, rear floor mount, battery box, etc. So I got everything here. Here's the headlight bolts that I just stuck on here. That way, I've got them all here. I don't lose them because they're taped to it, and they're all labeled, except for this one. I don't know where he came from. But let's get to grinding. So we're gonna work on the headlight bracket first, and this is what I've got. It's a grinder. You can pick these up for probably like $20, $30 at Harbor Freight. If you don't have a Harbor Freight, I got this one, I think maybe from Amazon, maybe from Home Depot, I honestly can't remember. This is a Milwaukee one, real good, works well, haven't had any problems with it. What I have on here right now is a cutting wheel. So this will actually cut the metal off, and then I have a softer, flexible grinding or kind of polishing wheel. That's what I'm gonna use to kind of bring it closer to the metal to make it smoother. And then I'm gonna go at it by hand with some sandpaper. I don't wanna go blind, so I got my protective glasses. So let's get to work. Alright, so I didn't want to go super close because I can always do that with the actual flexible pad here. I'll swap that on and do this after I get this off. I'm going to take these two off as well first, and then we'll go at it with this. Alright, actually that's pretty perfect on that edge. Then I just gotta grind this extra stuff off right here. That's pretty smooth right there. I don't want to take too much off because I want to be able to do it by hand, but that kind of gets most of the edge off of it. So I stopped the recording and I went inside for a second. When I came back out, I forgot to start recording again, but I finished up the headlight bracket. So here's what I've got, and I think it looks pretty good. That is pretty darn smooth for using the grinder. Pretty darn smooth, and got the sides as well right there. So I'm gonna hand sand that just to get the remaining bit off and to kind of blend it in a little bit with the parts that I didn't grind. But first, I wanna work on the frame. All right, so I'm gonna go through very carefully and show you everything that we're taking off and leaving on. I guess first, I'll tell you what we're leaving on. We're leaving this bracket right here. We're leaving this squarish bracket or rectangular kind of bracket right here, and we're leaving this bracket right here. Everything else we're taking off. So we're taking off this bendable bracket right here, this bendable bracket here, this one here, here, this here. This we're leaving, along with the same mount on the other side, we're leaving this. This is coming off, this is coming off, this is coming off, this is coming off, this is staying. This is being taken off this one. We're taking off this, this, and this. So really you're gonna have a nearly completely smooth frame once we're done with all of that. I'm gonna put up an image on the screen right now just to make that clear for you guys so you can refer to that image. The other thing that you're gonna need to do is expand these two holes right here on this flat bar. Expand these to 10 millimeter. And on the other side, it has some welded nuts. These are gonna be ground out as well because there's gonna be a bar that we're putting in here and it needs to be able to sit flush. Sorry, there's one more that was a little bit hard to see that we're gonna be taking off as well. This open-ended one on the opposite side of this. So this is coming off, and then on the opposite side, there's an open-ended one that is coming off as well. This whole bracket right here, we're gonna be unscrewing this and taking this off as well. So all you gotta do to take those off is remove these caps on the outside. Looks like it's a size 14. Take them off. I decided it might be smart to tape off the things that I'm not taking off, just so I make sure that I don't go near them. Now I gotta grind it down a little bit more. Oh man, this is tough. Very tedious. I'm trying to not get impatient and screw something up. I started with the, obviously I grinded everything off. Now I'm using the sand wheel. I think it's 50 grit, the one that I have on there. And some of the places you saw, I had to use the Dremel just because it's very tight spaces. I found it makes it a little bit easier with the sanding grinder if the edges are more smooth. So on a couple spots, I smooth them down a little bit with the Dremel, and then I'm going at them with the grinder. But I have a feeling that this is probably not the most entertaining thing, just watching me grind down every single little tab. So I'm gonna finish that and we'll cut forward once I have it ready to start sanding it down by hand. I'm done. You know, I was hoping to get a lot more done in this video, but that just took me 2 hours and I haven't even hand sanded it yet. But let me show you what I've got. I take it back, I just looked at my phone. It took me 3 hours. But I think it looks pretty darn good. Let me, I brought it inside so that it's a little bit easier to see in here. Here's that flat part right here. This looks pretty good. I was able to get this piece off. This is all ground down here, ground off this piece. Coming around here, got this off, got this. This part probably took me the absolute longest. Word of advice, if you have different sized grinding wheels, that's gonna help you out a lot. The wheel that I had was about that big, so it was kind of hard to fit into small spots. So if you have multiple sized wheels, I would recommend that because that's gonna help you out a ton in the hard to reach places. So yeah, that part was the hardest. The back though, where the license plate attached, or the license plate bracket, this took the longest. I got it all off, looks fine. I still have to do it by hand to get it real smoothed out. I got this side, not as hard as the other side because I didn't have this whole assembly to deal with, but still a little bit difficult. That, I think I already mentioned that. Is there anything on the under? Got that and that right there, and that right there, and that right there. This was kind of a pain because it wrapped like all the way around. But there's a couple things that I haven't done yet. One, hand sanding everything. Two, these two holes. So you'll see on the other side, obviously they go all the way through. What you're gonna have to do, what I'm gonna have to do, is drill these out to 10 millimeters and then remove these nuts. But I'm probably gonna use my Dremel. I'm hoping that it's gonna be not that difficult after I drill it out a little bit more, but still not entirely simple. So I know we didn't do a whole lot of exciting stuff in this video. We did open the stuff that I got. We got a lot of new parts. The wheels, these things, I cannot wait to see what these look like powder coated. And obviously on the Ruckus. But I hope it was helpful. I know we got some people who are gonna be coming directly to this video and are looking for how to do that, looking for what parts they have to grind off of that frame, and trying to get some tips on how to do that. So I hope that I helped out some of you, and for the rest of you, I hope you enjoyed it. This Ruckus is gonna start looking like a Ruckus very quickly. So I hope you guys come back. Videos every Sunday for the build series. During the week, I also have videos. Currently, I'm doing it Wednesday and Friday are my other vlogs, but I may add more in or switch the days. I'm kind of figuring out a new schedule. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe, turn on those notifications so you don't even have to worry about when the schedule is, and you just get the notification on your phone when there's a new video. Hit that like button if you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Now we're both kick only.
There it goes.
There we go. I want to see you try and kickstart this thing.